Hello, Reagan here. Okay, so I wanted to show off my baby. Okay, so my mom bought me this a few years ago for my birthday, and it's been sitting in the storage shed because I wasn't able to really do anything with it. And then my life has just been a big nightmare. And I can't believe that I like legitimately almost forgot that I owned this. Wow. I was out there and I was like, oh, I have that little cabinet thingy. That would make a nice sewing table. Oh, that cabinet thingy, that's right. That's a Singer. That's a Trundle sewing machine. And then I was like, oh, does it work? I wonder if it works because I never really got a chance. I knew the wheel turned when I got it, but that's like literally all I did was like open it up, turn the wheel, and then I put it all away and it needed a belt and stuff. And then I thought that the bottom cast iron leg was broke back there. It's not broke, just the little steel wheel is gone. So I just need a new steel wheel. All the rest of it's all complete. Everything down there, like in the trundle part, is all, don't mind my filthy carpet. I swear it's like so dirty. And this thing's really dusty because I haven't finished cleaning the bottom of it because I'm really fat and it's a long way down there. But my point is like everything down there is in like perfect condition. So yay. And it also has like, I'll get into all of it later. But yeah, and yeah, it's like it's a great sewing machine. It's in great shape because this was built before planned obsolescence. And there's still a lot of these machines in circulation and a lot of people that use them every day. And I know why. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, they're amazing. And I have some really cool attachments and stuff that go with this as well. I can't even speak. But I just wanted to show you a couple things on the machine really quick. Um, like I said, I did get a new belt. If you look right here, it's kind of hard to see because it's in the shadow of the thing or whatever. But see how it looks like there's like a staple in the belt? That's actually how these belts are set up. And these are like cowhide belts. They stretch over time, obviously, like when you use them or whatever. So when it stretches a little bit, you just clip off that end and then take an awl and poke a new hole and move that piece down a little bit. And then you've still got a good working belt. This is the bobbin winder, and the bobbin sits in here. This little handle goes back and you line it up. This piece rocks out so that it touches the belt. And then you turn the clutch here to disable it so that the needle doesn't go up and down when you're winding the bobbin. And this little arm goes back and forth so that it evenly threads the bobbin. I'll eventually show you guys like a video of that in action. I'm just doing this really fast to show you what's going on. Let me try not to bend things. I was looking at my camera and not my hands, and I'm like, no, don't bend it. But the funny thing is like, I don't think I could bend that with my hand if I tried. I mean, I'm not going to try to because I don't want to break my machine, obviously. But that's like a pretty hefty piece right there. And see how this has like this little cute little heart shape? That's what causes that to go back and forth. Like as it goes around it, it pushes it out and back in so that it feeds the thread evenly up and down the bobbin. Like that is just absolutely amazing. I love this machine. The little things in it just make me so happy. And then to thread the top, the thread goes here on this hook, and then this is the tensioner right here. And then it goes here, and then this little arm lifts up and down to pull the thread. And then it comes down and goes here and then goes down through the needle. The needle is in the down position. And then the lever for the presser foot is back here. That's obviously not the presser foot that goes with this machine. That is a rolled hem foot that I used for my brother, but it was the only one that I had on hand that would fit this machine. I did oil everything and it's still a little grungy, but I need to kind of go over it a little bit because don't want anything to rust. So far, nothing really is rusty. It's a little crusty, but it's not rusty. Whoever had this machine, even they used it a lot. They didn't really abuse it too much. It's in pretty decent shape. I mean, I took off this end piece and there's a lot of gunked old oil in there, but it's not, like I said, it's not like all rusty or anything. And then this is the slide plate and there is the bobbin shuttle, and oh, they're amazing. Like I can't even begin to tell you how cute. It's like these were like the original beginning of these models was the VS, I believe, like the VS 1 and 2. something like that. I don't know a whole lot of the history, to be honest with you, but I'm gonna like I'm gonna jack that up. So you're better off to like Google it on your own, or I'll update you later on once I've gone and like actually got my research together, because I took no notes and I just went and looked up some random interesting facts about this thing and then just left it at that. But the vibrating shuttle, this is before they started doing the round shuttles. So it's just a little piece, and it sits in there really like kind of loose, okay? And it reminds me of the drop-ins now, honestly, right? So it just sits in there, and then the bottom thread comes up, obviously, and then to the top thread, and then it does its thing. The top thread loops around the bobbin and comes back up and catches, and that's how you make your stitch. It just parts for this are dirt cheap. I had no idea. I was thinking, oh wow, like where am I going to get a belt? How much is it going to be for the new presser? For like all these things, I was like completely freaked out. But being that they were like made for so many years and so many of the parts are universal to a lot of different machines, like I was able to get bobbins, and I think the bobbins cost me less than, I mean, less than $1 a piece, and they're like metal long skinny bobbins. They're like really cute. And then the belt, I got 2 belts for $6 on Amazon. Like you can't beat that. Let me see real quick if I can find the other goodies. I'll show you the bobbins. Aren't those adorable? They're like so adorable. These are the new ones. They're like brass on the end. And then I believe, wait, do I have the old one in here? Yeah, this is the old one. So there's the old one versus the new ones that I bought. And the main difference is the new ones have a hole in the end, which makes threading them a little bit easier because you just pull a piece of thread out of the end so that it's easier to catch and it doesn't unwind or whatever. These don't, so you have to like wrap it by hand a few times to get it secured on there before you put it in the bobbin winder to do the thing. But yeah, I was very, very pleasantly surprised at how affordable all the parts are for this. Yay. Now, if I wanted to get antique original parts, that's a whole different story. Those are a little bit more pricey. This is, I believe it's considered a 7-drawer because in here there's a little like thing, but this doesn't open in the front on this specific one. I don't know if it ever did or not. I have no idea. I'm obviously not going to wrench on it. It's a little bit loose, but I checked it out. There's like a screw that's like loose in there, but it looks like the original screw. But like I said, there's a little tray right inside here. And then it's got 3 drawers on this side and 3 drawers on this side. And they kind of like, because they slide all the way through. So they're a little wonky in their placement. Now, hang on, I've got all kinds of junk in the drawers because, okay, here we go. Don't mind my mess. I'm sorry, like you're going to see glimpses of my messy room. It's just kind of tore up right now because I've been manically dealing with this sewing machine. This was with it. This came with, like, when I got the machine, this came with it. And at first I was like, oh, what is it, a ruffler? Because I have a ruffler foot that I purchased or whatever. And I was like, but that's a funny looking ruffler that doesn't really like do the thing. This is actually to make zigzag stitches. So as it goes up and down, that front piece goes, oh, I don't want to like scratch up the wood here, but the front piece goes left and right, right? Because these machines, I don't know if you're going to be able to see because, oh, here, you know what? I'll just take this foot off and show you. These machines have just the little hole. It doesn't have room for a zigzag stitch, right? Because there's nowhere for it to go. So in order to accommodate being able to make a zigzag stitch on the machine, they made this, and it's adjustable. So you can adjust how wide your zigzag is and how, you know, whatever, right? And like I said, this goes up. See, as it goes up, that piece will go side to side, and it does the movement back and forth side to side. So I think that is absolutely amazing. So instead of moving the needle, it moves the fabric. I think that's just genius. That I absolutely love that. I'll eventually, as I go along, I will make some videos actually showcasing how all of this fun stuff works. And I know there's plenty of people out there. There's 1,000 people plus probably every day that upload videos showing how these things work. But I'm just going to be 1001. What can I say? This little knob up here adjusts the pressure of the presser foot, like how far down the presser foot drops when you bring the lever down that drops the presser foot. And you adjust that based on the type of material that you're using, like the thickness of the material. So you can adjust that so that it grabs the material really well, or if you're using something that's thinner, a little bit more delicate, and you don't want it to like wrench the material, you know, whatever, you can adjust it. And you don't want your material like slipping around or whatever, like that's how you adjust that. This is the tensioner, and this tightens and loosens the tension on the thread. And you can probably hear snoring in the background. It's my mother. She works really hard and has really bad breathing problems, and she's in the other room. And it's just a fact of life that sometimes she's snoring in the background. My apologies. Anyway, okay, so like I said, that's the clutch. I already went over that. Bobbin Winder. This actually is a knob that adjusts the length of the stitch that the machine makes. And yeah, and then of course you've got the big giant filthy floor. No, sorry, the big giant pedal that is the treadle, not trundle, not a trundle like a bed, like a trundle bed, but a treadle. It's a treadle. You tread with your feet and make the thing move to do the thing, to turn the stuff and make the needle go up and down through the material. Anyway, that's how that works. And then I have this. Now this would have been newer. This would have been from like the 40s, but I believe they started making them sooner than that. This one just specifically is from the 40s. And what in the Fallout? I love this. It's so cute. It just reminds me of Fallout. But which obviously this came way before Fallout and was part of the inspiration. This was really beat up because somebody crammed it inside this case. But I'm not mad because at least it's still with the case, because I wouldn't have had any kind of a clue as to how to use this. But it's a Singer buttonholer, and it's all here. It's got the different little pieces to make the different shapes of buttonholes. And then this is the unit itself, and it goes on, once again, very similar to a presser foot. And then it moves the fabric. It grabs the fabric. There's even a little piece that comes down right there, and that just like grabs your fabric to make sure that it's going where it's supposed to go, because once again, you've got that tiny little hole. There's nowhere for, like, you can't, you know, do like zigzag stitches or whatever. It has to move the fabric and not the foot. But this thing has seen some better days, but it is all here. And is your operation and care guide, and it gives you the list of all the parts that are there. And then it goes through and tells you like how to use it and how to adjust for the different sizes of buttonholes. And there's even instructions on how to make it look more like hand sewn or whatever. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And yeah, I mean, considering how old this stuff is, like, that's pretty impressive. I thought it was just absolutely fascinating, and I look forward to giving this a try, because I was, you know, blown away by the little plastic foot and the little arm that comes down and like stops it for the automatic buttonholer on the other machine that I have, which I'll also have to show you how that works. It's like really cool. Anyway, but yeah, so here's my roughly 1890s, I believe. I'm not sure if this is the original plate for it, because sometimes these get replaced because they get like lost or whatever. But the last patent that's listed on here is 1890. The serial number on this is, there's no letter in front of it. It's 153-24802. And like I said, that would put it somewhere in the 1890s. But there is my Singer, and I love how it's got the extended cabinet piece so that you can like do all your cutting and everything on here. And I did double check, like, you know, these screws, like the wood's in pretty decent shape right here. What I do plan on doing, I said, don't mind my mess, but I plan on cutting a couple of legs to just like prop under here with like some felt on them so they don't mar up the wood, so that when I'm cutting and stuff, there's not too much undue pressure due to the fact that this is such an old cabinet. I don't want to screw that up. Now, whoever had this, like, they did leave some marks and stuff. But I mean, considering how old this is and like how long it's been around, it is in really, really, really amazing shape. Like, really amazing shape. So I have a little test piece of fabric here. Yeah, it's already got some stitching on it, but we're gonna stitch some more on it. I'm gonna flip it over so that there's white on the black side and black on the white side so that you can see what I've freshly done. Okay, so put it under the presser foot, drop it down, and just start rocking away. And there you have it. And since it's not advised to run these backward, I don't know, like, I mean, some people do, and I'm sure it's fine to like give it a couple turns by hand the wrong way. But what I do to backstitch is I just turn the whole project around real quick and, you know, do the thing. It doesn't hurt me to do that little extra step. And obviously I didn't backstitch at the beginning of what I was working on. Lock my thread down so that it doesn't pop out, because sometimes that happens. And I don't know if it's going to be in focus, but actually all of these stitches are done with this machine. But that one, the last one right there, is the one that I just did. And yeah, she's absolutely adorable and absolutely completely functional. And all those bobbins I showed you earlier, I wound all of those bobbins with the bobbin holder. So yeah, she's a 100% functional, beautiful little machine. Okay, so there you have it. Just a quick rundown of my Singer Treadle sewing machine. I've been wanting to share it with you guys for a while. Like I said, I had her out in the shed and I was waiting to get a new belt and everything. And I had it in my mind for some reason it was going to cost me way more than it did to get the parts and stuff to get it up running again. But for about 20 bucks, I got everything I needed to get it going, which was just some oil, a belt, and a few extra bobbins. So yeah, yay. So I'm going to go, but thanks for stopping by and checking out my machine. And I will see you next time with some other random thing. I have a couple more machines I'd like to share and some other craft projects and things like that I'm coming up I'm going to be dealing with. But I got to get off of here and get to work on this week's podcast. If you get a chance, hop on over and check out Twisted States, available on all major podcast platforms. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.